When I moved into a new town, one of the first places I had to find was a gym. I mean, yeah, I needed my coffee and my pizza place, but I needed to know where to work out. And I didn't know what I was going to find. Were people going to judge me? Would I know how to use the equipment? It was a lot. Well, hey guys, it's Ashley. And on this episode of Meet Our Neighbors, we're going to meet Life Techs. Let's go meet them. So, should I be nervous when I'm in here?
No.
I heard people might be shaking when they go into a new gym, so.
Yeah, I would say that's actually a lot more common than you think, right? So, arguably 70% of our people are nervous before they come in here. And our goal, one of our big things that really matters is making people feel really comfortable and trying to make it a safe environment and making sure they're not intimidated, right? Like, when you look around, people tend to think like, oh, this could be a CrossFit gym, or it's too intense for me, there's no machines, it's all weights, and it's really the opposite. Most of the people that we work with haven't worked out in a long time, don't have a lot of exercise experience, and they're just uncomfortable being in the gym. And usually when they get in here and they meet us, they get a chance to work with Jess, work with myself, then they start to realize, okay, it's not that bad, they're gonna adjust to my needs, where I'm currently at. We say this all the time, we wanna meet people where they're at.
So, where we're at is where? And who are you?
So we are in our studio. It's Life Techs, and it's at the center of Wayland.
And who are you?
My name's Curtis Williams.
And
Jess.
You're Jess?
Yes.
Well, it's
We've
not.
actually been open for a year now. It was a year in September, so we hit our year mark.
I'm sorry, I did not come and congratulate you on your anniversary. My sincerest apologies.
We need balloons.
Yeah, apparently. I'll get on that one. So, what is Life Techs? I've never heard this name before, and that's probably my bad.
So when you think of techs, you kind of think of a technician, so someone who works on your car, someone who works on your computer, so we put life before it, so we're working on your life, your healthy habits, your health and fitness, nutrition, everything that goes into your life.
So you're not just a box, you're not just a gym, you're not just a studio, you're focusing on the totality of somebody.
Exactly, which is where Life Techs comes into play, because if someone needs help with improving their sleep quality, help with their nutrition, help with managing stress, and then of course, obviously, we're going to help you get better at picking things up and putting them down. We're going to try to help you with all those things. So whether it's just coaching over the years, we have a number of different certifications that can help with a lot of these things, but also just providing resources so they can have every tool in the toolbox to be successful.
How in the world did you get involved in this?
To be completely honest, I was working construction full time. I didn't love it. I would go to work at 6 and I'd get home at 6 and then I'd go to the gym for like an hour and a half. And
After you had been working out all day at the construction?
Technically.
Okay,
Yeah,
just
exactly.
all right.
My girlfriend was like, you don't like construction and you're clearly like the gym and you're good at it. Mind you, I didn't work out in high school and I didn't play sports, so I wasn't really a weightlifter then. But I had put on a lot of muscle in my first year, and she recommended that I'd potentially be a personal trainer. And that's how it all started. And it was mostly for like vanity. I was just tired of being like a small, skinny guy, and I wanted to get stronger and whatnot. And then after I started pursuing it, one thing led to another. I started learning more about the actual coaching aspect of personal training rather than just like lifting weights.
Right.
And it changed my perspective, and I've been doing it ever since.
So the passion that you clearly have right now is not the same that you had with construction?
No, not even close.
How did you get into this?
So before this, I went to school for early childhood and special ed. I worked in special ed for about 8 years, and then kind of got burnt out. Loved it, loved the kids. I just couldn't handle it anymore. So during COVID, I actually worked out with Curtis, and he was my coach for a few years, still is my coach. And then fell in love with the process of my own transformation, getting stronger, and wanted to help other people do that. So I literally gave him my computer, and I was like, sign me up. This is what I want to do. So I will be certified in 3 years in February.
The day was actually pretty funny. She was like, I won't pull the trigger
Yeah.
if you don't just like do it for me. Got her set up with her first certification, and that's all she wrote.
And now you're working together and you own this place.
Yes.
So you're a small business owner.
Yes.
That's amazing. Where does your passion come from? Because you've got it, you like working out, but it can't just be that.
For me, my passion did come from working out. I am probably one out of 1,000 people that will tell you that I actually love to work out, which not everyone does. But I do really enjoy helping people, and I love getting the text of, I'm sore, but it's great. You helped me get my first squat. My knees don't hurt anymore. My back doesn't hurt anymore. So it's really just the reward that you get out of it.
That helps someone in their mental space as well if they're not hurting physically.
For sure.
If you're hurting every time you walk, the whole process of going throughout your day is just going to be pain and anger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you have a certain mantra that you have at this? Is it? Would you say gym? What do you call the space?
So we would call it a personal training studio.
Okay.
'Cause it's not a public gym.
Okay.
You can't just come and work out anytime you want. You do have to have an appointment with either Jess or myself. So personal training studio.
And what's the mantra of the space, or do you have one?
I don't know. We've actually been working on that. It's something that
Let's workshop it together.
we've been working on it. We read this book that was really insightful. It's a coaching book. And one that we kind of landed on was Strength and Heart. Right?
Okay.
Strength and love.
Strength and love.
Okay.
Strength and love. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Strength and love. Because part of our core values is we want to lead with love. The whole point of us doing this, for me, is just like Jess. I do love working out. I like when someone comes to me and says, "Hey, we've been at this for X amount of time, and I just noticed when I'm gardening, like my back doesn't hurt anymore. Like I'm more capable of skiing down the mountain now. I've got a 72-year-old who's like super active, plays tennis, likes to ski, and his knees were not in a good place, and we've been together for almost a year, and he's literally jumping hurdles consistently, and he's
Nice.
super excited about it, right? Like, so that stuff, like, I feel everyone deserves to be comfortable and confident in their own skin, and so at the end of the day, when I get messages like that, like, if you lose weight, great. If you put on muscle, great. But when you hit big goals, and when you just do your everyday task and you feel better about it, like, that's what makes me excited and keeps me going.
And not everyone has the same goal, and I think that's what makes it more fun and interesting, that we work with such a population that some people's goal is to lose weight, but some is just to stay healthy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You really do care about, it's not just a client, you care about the people
Yeah.
in general, and you're developing these relationships.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I would say most of our business is relationships. We should be marketing, but we haven't been marketing as much as we should. And honestly, we've survived thus far from referrals and our loyal clientele that were with us before we opened up here. And yeah, we've been in a good spot because of relationships.
What do you offer in this space?
You want to dive in?
So we offer one-on-one and small groups. So Curtis does have one small group session, but I mainly run them. So for I should call it a semi-private session. So we have no more than 6 clients per session of the semi-private. So for them, we do a progressive overload. So they get the same workout for 4 to 5 weeks, depending on the month. And we repeat everything. So they get the same workout Monday, they get the same one Wednesday, and they get the same one Friday. So the goal is for them to, maybe they're starting at body weight, and by the end of week 4, they're lifting the 20-pound kettlebell, depending on what it is. We keep it at no more than 6, so that way, if anything needs to be modified, it's more personal. We get to know each other. We create a really good community out of it.
I don't know if I blacked out while you were saying that, but there is 3 different workouts for the week, so I wasn't sure.
Yes, sorry.
Okay, no, I wasn't sure because it's not technically the same Monday,
Right.
Wednesday, Friday. Monday's a workout, Wednesdays it's a different workout, Friday's a different workout.
It's okay, you were thinking about working out.
Yeah, well,
I get
I
it.
think that's what it was. And then next week, we repeat Monday's workout, repeat Wednesday. So they get some traction and repetition. So you actually get good at something. We don't want to just change everything every time they're in here because then no one really builds a skill set. And then the whole point is to make sure like we reduce risk of injury and we get more effective at what we do, but in the safest way possible.
Oh, I'm not saying there's not machines in here except for a bike, Why am I not looking at this big, bulky space that everyone can just hop on a machine and get their workout done?
Well, I personally believe in, or I should say we believe in, connecting the dots and teaching someone how to use their body as a unit versus isolated pieces. And I think the best analogy I've used that resonates with the most people is that, like, if you're going to move tomorrow, you know, buy a new house, pack up everything, and you decided you're going to do it alone, that would be pretty terrible, right? That probably wouldn't be fun to pack everything up and pick it up by yourself, right? But if you called a bunch of your family and friends or hired a moving company, you'd be in a much better place, right? You get a bunch of more people working together for the same goal. It's the same thing with the body. We want to teach everyone how to be stable, be strong, and how muscles can communicate with each other versus just work as isolated pieces. And to be honest, like, it might be fun to do bicep curls sometimes, but I really care less about how much you can bicep curl. I want you to be able to make sure that when you are doing anything, so your outside activities, not necessarily lifting in the gym, your outside activities, you feel coordinated, you feel balanced, you feel strong. The best way to do that is while you're lifting in the gym, making sure the muscles are talking to each other. So we do a little bit more of a functional approach. Functional is kind of a catch-all word because technically everything's functional, but ideally it's free weights and we're making sure muscles are working in conjunction with one another.
How much do the sessions or groups cost?
So the one-on-one personal training sessions are anywhere from $120 to $140 per session, and then it depends on time commitments, right? And then the semi-private is anywhere from $45 to $60 per
Okay.
session. Yeah.
The semi-private's interesting because I know myself, when it gets darker, earlier, just mentally, I'm a little bit down. That happens to a lot of people, and the one thing that can really get me going is that rush with working out. So being able to do that with someone else in the winter, in the dark, maybe in an environment where people may not be as positive and happy, it is a way to create that community that you've mentioned maybe twice now.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think you know, Jess might have more to speak on with this because she does mainly run the semi-privates. But I think there's a lot to be said about working alongside someone and just being able to challenge yourself with another human being that's doing the same thing. And you know, one person might be a little stronger than the other, so they encourage that person to, you know, push themselves a little bit, or vice versa. Someone might have better cardio, and they all kind of work together just to make each other better. So it's definitely a good setup. It's a good approach for sure.
Is there an age limit or an age minimum that one needs to be?
I feel like you have the better answer being the owner. However, I'm going to say there definitely is no age limit. One of our oldest small group clients is 64, and she competes with the 29-year-old like she is 29.
That's awesome.
So,
She does. She's actually fair.
she is, yeah.
I saw a woman working out in the gym one time, and she was probably in her 80s, and I was like, I will be her one day.
Yeah.
Like that is my mentality. I love that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, to answer the question, yeah, no age limit. Our youngest client currently is 9. And
Okay.
Our oldest client is 72. So I think Fred's 72 or something.
Yeah, so I think he's 73.
Yeah,
In my
73, sorry.
group home client, I actually have a client who's 90.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
So do you help people with sports, with injuries, with what anything in particular?
Yeah, so I would say we're extremely good at helping general population.
Okay.
Right? Like, we will absolutely help with sports, although, you know, at some point, if you're going to go play D1, you might go work with another coach at some point.
Sure.
Right? But as far as starting out, building a base, getting strong, like understanding the body, like everybody's going to follow the same principles, so to speak, right? So yeah, we definitely help people with sports. Big thing is injuries. We see people with literally everything. Knee injuries, shoulder injuries. Yeah, we definitely work with injuries and within reason. I think we're very, very big on working within our scope. So making
Nice.
sure we don't try to, you know, over prescribe something, right? We're going to work with what we understand. And then if you have a physical therapist or someone like that, we are very, very big on connecting with, I've talked to my clients' cardiologists, I've talked to their physical therapists, and just to make sure that there's no contraindications, that we're approaching things in the right way, and we're just helping them, you know, get better in the safest way possible.
Where are we located? Do you happen to know the address?
Yes, so it's 109 Andrew Ave, and it's Suite 102, directly next to Stop and Shop
In Wayland.
in Wayland.
And if anyone wants to get in touch with you, do they just send a carrier pigeon? Is there a website? What do they do?
So the website is lifetexfitness.com.
Okay.
So, you can get in touch with us there. All our contact information is there. We just updated it, so our socials are on there, so they can go, if they want more information or just to see more day-to-day, they can click on the social and see what's going on. But we've got a bunch of details up there. We have the email there for you to reach out, and my phone number's there as well. So whichever works best for you, text message, call, email, we're available.
So what if I asked you to kind of put me through the ropes a little bit and show me what I'm doing wrong?
We could totally do that.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
I never, and this is just telling on myself, I never warm up. Ever. Yes, I know, I'm telling my dirty secrets.
Tell them all.
This is my therapy now. I've always heard you should. I never have before, and here we are.
Yeah, I think warming up can be done in many, many different ways, but it is pretty crucial to make sure we stay away from injury as best we can. We will kneel on the blue pad, and we're going to just oscillate and just literally rock forward and back. You're going to get deep into your stretch, and then you're going to back off.
Okay.
You're gonna get deep into your stretch and back off.
So with somebody like me that has multiple ACL tears,
Yep.
what modifications do you make? I can go down on my knee, but my mobility isn't that great.
Okay.
So, like, I can do this, but I can't go back as far because I'm going to start feeling it right here.
So can I jump in? Sorry. So in this move, so what you want to do when you're here, I want you to turn on your pecs and your lats. So I want you to squeeze here like you're squeezing something.
Yep.
And then I want you to squeeze your glute and squeeze your quad. So when you're here, because you're squeezing everything, you can't go that far, and you should feel stretched down your quad a little bit more. Yeah. So it's really not about being in and out here, because you're actually not doing anything. You have to turn everything on, because it's a hip flexor stretch, so it's going to be all the way up here. So the more you turn it on, the more you're going to feel it. So I'm not even going back that far.
That is really interesting because I'm focusing going down this side now, and I don't even feel it in my knee.
Yep.
And this is not like made for TV. This is real.
So that just kind of tells us that you're not recruiting the right muscles.
Our bodies, I've learned, are so very, very good at that overcompensation.
Yes.
And my left side has been damaged many times, so it's a pro.
We're going to be here. We're leaning back a little bit. The TRX is awesome because it attaches to the top of the squat rack if we want to, but also there's a door attachment, so we can just close it right in the door. Makes it nice and easy. We want our body to stay as straight as we can. So this exercise is to work our back, right? So mainly our lats. We're going to get a little bit of rear delts involved there too, a little bit of traps. But ultimately, we want to make sure that we are maintaining a straight line and not letting ourselves drop here, but also not overdoing it and being like arched there, right? So straight line, kind of think of like your plank, right? Pull, pinch, release.
Okay. All right, so you said I'm starting back.
Yep. So already I want you to squeeze your glutes a little bit more.
Yep.
And then straighten out here. Yeah, head back a little bit. Yeah, perfect. So line up your, think about like a straight line from your ear to your ankle. That looks pretty good. Right here is good.
Okay.
Go ahead and pull, and then release. Pull, and release. So a lot of what we're gonna do when people are here is teach them all those little things they might not be paying attention to. And it's hard, like, you can't see your own body. And if you aren't someone who's been doing this for a long time or have a high skill set, it's really hard to feel where you're off as well. So having us right there to always like have eyes on, goal is that someone's going to understand their body in a much deeper, more, I guess, intimate, for lack of a better word, way.
I just realized there aren't mirrors in here.
Yes.
Because you were talking about you can't see your body.
Exactly.
Is that purposeful?
Yes. So I went back and forth on the mirrors a lot, and I know some people like them, some people don't, and for me it was very much that, like, I want someone to focus on what they're feeling versus what they're seeing. Because if you now, there are some people who do well with looking in a mirror and figuring it out, but and I would say, in all fairness, most of my experience has been people actually like messing themselves up because they're trying to pay too much attention to what's going on in the mirror.
And there's body shaming that comes along with that too,
Exactly.
especially if you're in a group setting.
Exactly.
So that eliminates that. I love it.
So for me, like I was thinking strictly on the physical side of things, like how you move. But yeah, that's a huge part of it, right? Like, so as far as that stuff goes, that exactly, it eliminates that, makes someone a little more comfortable. They're not thinking about how bad they look while doing something, or they're embarrassed about something, right? They're just focused on where their body is in space. Yes, because now we're really focused on lat right here, right? Pull straight down that way. Yeah.
So instead of holding them here and you go up, it's a little awkward, so you have to flip them over. So you get them up so the handles are facing up. From here, you're gonna do just a normal jumping jack. So I'm gonna go up.
You can add it to your arsenal at home.
That's an overachiever move. I like it. Well, thank you guys for showing me this place. This is awesome.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, absolutely. I plan my days around when I'm going to work out. And that is because it helps me in my headspace. It helps me in my body. And it's really good to know that there are people around that can help me out if I happen to be doing something wrong. So come see LifeTechs. They can help you get healthier and feel better about it too, without having to look in the mirror every time you walk in the door. And by the way, they're not scary. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my channel. And who do you think that we should meet next?